guys, so I just finished filming this dark smoky eye with a nude lip tutorial for you. I have filmed a New Year's Eve tutorial with a black lip, and so my goal was to kind of make this the opposite and be a New Year's Eve alternative if you would rather do it with a nude lip. So I used the Morphe 35R palette. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's been out for a little while. I just haven't used it as much as I would have hoped to, so it was fun to get to play around with it today. But yeah, if you're interested to see how I got this look, then just keep watching.
Okay, you guys, so getting started, I've already prepped my eye with the Bare Minerals Primetime Eyelid Primer. So now I'm just going to be taking this cream shade that's matte, and I'm going to blend that out on the Bare Minerals, using the Bare Minerals Lid Line and Crease Brush. And I just always like to do this to knock the stickiness off. Now I'm going to be taking this light brown shade in the Lid Line and Crease Brush, and I'm going to be using that to start to set up my transition area. Since we were gonna put black onto the lid and it's such a dark color, I was really focused on building up a lot of warm colors into the transition and crease area to make sure it wasn't too harsh whenever we packed the black shade onto the lid. So I'm just going to continue to blend that back and forth. And I'm sorry, I wish I could tell you guys the actual name of these colors, but I held up the palette because Morphe palettes are hard, and I most definitely threw away the little paper that came with this palette that tells you the name of the shades. So now taking a darker shade, and I'm going to be blending that on with the Bare Minerals blender brush. And I used several shades of brown here, as I mentioned already, just to add that warmth in and kind of begin to work it down. And I put a little note in the intro, but I have the Huda Beauty liquid lipstick in Bikini Babe on, and I used the Bare Minerals BarePRO foundation and then my Huda Beauty Golden Sands highlighter palette. Now taking a deeper brown shade again and the Smashbox brush that I always use that I can never recall the name of, and I'm just blending that even further down. I really like this palette. I got it whenever Jaclyn Hill was raving about how great it was when it first came out, and it really is probably one of the highest pigmented Morphe palettes I have. I just don't feel like I've played around with it as much as I should, but it's definitely beautiful, and I did enjoy working with it. Now I'm taking an even deeper shade. This is a blackish brown, and I'm going to be placing that into my crease area with the Bare Minerals Smokey V brush. And I'm doing this to kind of set up before we go in with Fix Plus. Sometimes when you use Fix Plus with a shimmer shade and pack that onto the lid, it can look harsh if you didn't use the right shade to set it up in the crease area. So that's exactly what I'm doing here, using this deeper, darker shade so that the black won't look like we just placed it there and then left it there. So I'm blending that out and then also kind of working it out on the edge for when we set up our wing. Now taking the Bare Minerals blender brush, which is empty now, no new product, but I'm just using that to make sure nothing is harsh and everything is smooth. If anything, I blend too much, but I always think that's better. Now taking my favorite brush from the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, spritzing with Fix Plus, and going in with this gorgeous black shade. It's mainly black, but it has flecks of gold in it that I thought would just be perfect for this look. So I'm going to start to pack that onto my lid. As always, I really wanted it to show up very pigmented, so I'm even spritzing my brush again. It's not that this shade lacked pigment, it was great. I just think it's because it's the first time I ever used this shade that I kind of had to dig in there, and once I got the color coming off, I got good payoff from it. It was just kind of getting that top layer off of this color. So I'm just blending that on. I had also done my brows before I started this video, and it's the same Bare Minerals Brow Master Gel. I've been using that for forever now. So a lot of this stuff has stayed the same, which is why I kind of skipped it along so we could just do the eyes. And I really enjoyed creating this look for you guys. I've thought about doing a how I did my makeup in high school tutorial, and it would look super similar to this because I rocked like a black smoky eye every day. Now taking that same brown shade that we put in the crease before we packed that black onto the lid, and I'm just going to use that one more time to make sure the stop and start of where we put that lid color is not harsh and everything is nice and smooth. I feel like the black, back to the high school thing, I feel like the black shadow in every palette I have is missing because that's what I always use the most of. So now taking the Precision eye brush from Bare Minerals and that same shade we just placed in our crease, I'm going to begin to blend and smoke out the lower lash line. So I like to take the Precision brush first and get it real tight, and then take the Bare Minerals Smoky V brush like I'm doing now and use that to smoke it out. But I find if you don't get it tight enough in the beginning, then it's really hard to get the shadow up close enough, so it's better to start with a smaller brush and then work your way out. Now taking one of the brown shades we used in our transition area on the Bare Minerals blender brush, and I am just going to be blending that back and forth on top and bottom to make sure nothing is harsh, everything is smooth, and add a little bit of warmth back to this look. It's always good with the lower lash line. I tell people it can become a wreck, so don't panic and just keep blending it out. The more you add, the better it gets, honestly. So you can just keep blending that out and making sure everything is nice and smooth. But I did have some major fallout during this part, and we'll clean that up in a minute. Now taking the Bare Minerals Round the Clock eyeliner in 1AM. This one is discontinued because it's actually black with the flecks of gold, just like the shadow. But they do make one still in Midnight, which is just plain black, but it would work the exact same. So I'm just popping that in my waterline. That's the only eyeliner that I have found that will stay in my waterline all day long and does not bother me at all. Now taking my Bare Minerals contour palette, which has been my favorite contour palette I've ever had. I had the Kat Von D before, and I definitely like this one better. But I'm just using the Dual Finish Blush and Contour brush to sweep away that fallout, and the rest of it I got off whenever I put my false lashes on because there was a lot that fell out on the bottom side. Now taking the shimmery cream on my lid line and crease brush, and I'm popping that on the inner corner. I really tried to fan this out. You can see I worked it both up and down on the lower just to brighten that back up because we did use some really dark colors, and so I wanted to make sure that my inner corner was still bright and open because otherwise that's an easy mistake to make when you use black. It can narrow your eyes in too much if you bring it too far over. So I just kind of used that in order to keep from everything looking too harsh. And then I placed a little bit under my brow bone to highlight. And so now I'm taking my Bare Minerals Lash Domination ink liner and making a wing. I'm speeding this along just because I'm really precise about it and it takes me a minute, so I didn't want it to take forever on this video. I like to make my wings a lot bigger whenever I know I'm going to be doing false lashes, which is why you can see me really drawing it out more than you probably normally would. But if I know I'm going to put false lashes on, I like to make the wing bigger because otherwise when you put the lashes on, it's really easy to lose the wing because they will fan out on the outer corner. So just making sure that it's large enough that you'll still be able to see it once I get my lashes on. Now taking my Lash Domination mascara, and I'm going to put a coat on before we do our lashes, put on the lashes, and then I think I even added a little bit more. I also apologize about the lashes. I probably should have started with a fresh pair, and you can see like some remaining glitter from the day before, and I didn't really realize this until I had finished filming, so you'll have to forgive me on that. So I'm just blending that on the top and the bottom. I like to put my mascara on the lower lash before I apply my false lashes, otherwise I feel like it's a mess when you try to like get in there on the lower lash and you've got your glue still drying on the top. So I like to just have all my mascara on and then pop on my false lash. So that's exactly what I'm doing here, and I applied them off camera. And so that will complete this look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please make sure to subscribe. Bye guys.